Welcome back to the PlayStation Randomizer. Sony has been steadily adding more games during my hiatus, so we're officially further from finishing this list than when we started. Let's get right into it. Today's pick is Bound by Flame. Another one I've heard of, but don't know much about. Metacritic is pretty average, seems like it's nothing special. Let's find out for ourselves. About the only thing I remember about this game was that it got a lot of marketing leading up to release and was supposed to be kind of in the vein of God of War meets Dark Souls, but man, it's just really bland, chunky, and derivative. It also looks kinda ugly for a PS4 game, but I guess that makes sense because it was one of those cross-gen games also on PS3 and 360. The world design is nothing special. It seems to want to have the kind of grand cinematic scale of God of War with equally gross monster design, but the combat just feels slow and awkward. Like you can never move quite fast enough to dodge properly or get a hit in while an enemy is stunned. The menus are messy and layered with a lot of sub-menus to toggle between for any given thing, and honestly the whole presentation just bored me, even in just the tutorial, that I couldn't be bothered to go further. There's some neat mechanics, like switching weapon stances between stronger power or faster attacks, and you can equip traps, potions, and magic to a quick access radial, but there's really nothing on display here that isn't done better in pretty much every other action RPG. The stylized graphics don't do it any favors, and the combat controls aren't so much a steep learning curve as just not fun to implement. The battlefield tends to get swarmed with enemies, but the action has a more one-on-one Souls-like focus that just makes attacking groups unwieldy and unfair. New gear and skill upgrade trees only go so far to make any of this more interesting, and it doesn't really matter if it gets better later on if they can't make it engaging from the start. I genuinely expected this game to be better, but I gotta say to skip this one. If you get the urge to play something like it, there's dozens of better options more worth your time. Nothing here is unique or worth trying. Kind of a bummer to come back with this one, but hey, that just means there's nowhere to go but up next time, right? Right? Until then.